Hey, happy Friday. We're trying the beach hair look today. Don't judge, guys. It's been a long day. And of course, I spent entirely too much time on the couch watching the Masters instead of course, getting ready to do the show. But we've got Carmine Bianco tonight. We are going to hit the ice, maybe talk a couple other, things to end the regular NHL season, maybe see what else Carmine's got going on the docket over the next few months. Carmine, welcome in at Carmine Bianco WT over on Twitter, whether you are watching on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Drop your questions for Carmine, and we'll get the show underway. Carmine, any Masters bets you're currently sweating right now?
No, I'm not. But the funny thing is, Kel, is Chris, who does works on a Detroit office and does a lot of the clipping and stuff. He sent this long-worded reply to one of our hockey ones where this some guy said that he woke up. He woke up on the beach, or no, he woke up at the Masters where he grew up in Georgia or whatever, and that he dreamed that I was there and gave him the winner of the Masters. And he's like, so Carmine's got to give us a Masters pick. And this was like 3 weeks ago. So I picked the guy from, and I'm looking for him right now. I think he's at like -1. I picked the guy from Texas Tech, and I'll find it in a second. But it's hilarious because I'm like, what? This is Nick Borman's stuff. This is
That's
like
hilarious.
and so I gave this guy out, and I think he's at -2 now because I don't see him.
Okay.
He was at -1. He had just started his round. Yes,
Yes.
yes, that's it. Ludwig Berg. He's
Yeah.
-1 through 4. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know anything
that's
about golf.
funny.
I
I
play it.
actually boosted him over at Superbook Sports. He was 30 to 1. They boosted him to 40 to 1 for me. He was like kind of my long shot as well. So that's hilarious that we happen to be cheering for the same side. I did, though, have a big fat loser of Xander Schauffele to have the first round lowest score, excuse me,
Lead.
first round leader. And that is a dead on loser. Some of my matchups, though, for Splash Sports look really great. Bryson DeChambeau, I put in 2 of my lineups. So far we're hanging out. Nothing too crazy yet. I did bet Tiger not to make the cut. And then, of course, he subsequently birdied. But that's okay. Carmine, we're going to talk hockey tonight. No questions in the chat yet, but if you guys have one, make sure you drop it in the comment section. Carmine, let's just start right off the top. I'm going to open up the Wagertalk odds screen. That way we can just go in order of puck drop.
Yeah.
Tonight, the Columbus Blue Jackets take on the Florida Panthers. And the Florida Panthers are such huge favorites, rightfully so, right? We have the Columbus Blue Jackets who are just, my guess, coasting in to the end of the regular season. They've already booked their family trips to Mexico, I'm guessing, and they just want this season to be over.
They do. I was watching the game or the way they played in Tampa, and I had the over for my clients in that one. And I thought to myself, the game is 4-2 for Tampa with about 3 minutes left. I'm like, Columbus isn't going to pull their goalie. What do they care at this point? They're going to keep him in there. And then lo and behold, the goalie comes out of the net, and I think it was Stamkos scores into an empty netter for a hat trick, or somebody got I think it was Stamkos gets a hat trick with 20 seconds left, and the over hits. But yeah, they're playing out. They're playing out the season. It's a game of importance for Florida because right now they've got 3 games left, and they're 3 points up on Toronto for the number 2 seed in the Atlantic Division. Toronto has a game in hand on them, and they're going to play the second to last game of the season against each other in Florida. So if Toronto uses that game in hand and wins it, they could very well be a point apart, and that game, the 81st game of the season, could very well decide home ice in the first round of the playoffs. I think it's important for Toronto to get home ice because I don't think that they'll win a series. They have a tough time winning a series. I'm not going to make fun of them
Why
winning a series
not?
as it
That's
is.
that's
Last
like
year was
what
the
you're
first
known
time.
for. Just
Yes, yes.
obliterating the Leafs.
Yeah, it's because so many of my friends are Leaf fans. I grew up with that culture around me, and I was never a fan. But it's been 18 years, and they've only gotten out of the first round once, and that was last year where they beat Tampa. And then their fans chanted at the end of the game, "We want Florida, we want Florida," and they got Florida, and they also got knocked out in 5 games. So be careful what you wish for in this world sometimes, because you might get it and not like it. But we'll see. The Leafs are playing extremely well right now, and I think with home ice, they probably could beat Florida in a 7-game series.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Toronto has one of the best home ice advantages in the country, mainly because opposing fans can never afford tickets because most Leaf fans cannot
Yeah.
afford tickets. We do have a YouTube question here. Let's pop it up on the screen. To the bank, Senators and Lightning over 6.5 and Lightning team total over. What do you think, Carmine?
Well, here's the thing about the Tampa Bay Lightning. They are starting Matt Tompkins tonight in goal. He's only played 4 games for Tampa Bay, all of them on the road. This is his first game at home in front of his fans, and his family is probably going to be there as well too to cheer him on. The 4 games that he's been in have all been high-scoring games. 32 goals scored in 4 games for an average of 8 per game. So if you like that trend, then you're going to want to bet the over. Ottawa's in the same boat in the sense of Ottawa, they're playing out the season. They were playing spoiler role for a little while and scoring a bunch of goals, and then it kind of dried up. But I could see similar to the game, the Tampa Columbus game. I think we could see some goals in this one. So
Goals aplenty tonight for the Ottawa Senators. Carmine Bianco says, if you guys have a question like to the bank, drop it in the comment section. Carmine, we're going to keep this one rolling. Next up, let's talk about a game that's more of a coin flip, at least in my opinion, as opposed to some of these huge money lines. We've got the Buffalo Sabres, Washington Capitals. Buffalo's 135-ish or so on the Wagertalk odds screen. Total 6. Both these teams, are they jockeying for playoff position, or are they pretty much set where they're going to be?
well, the Sabres are essentially out of the playoffs, even though mathematically they haven't been eliminated. They are eliminated. Just the way in which the teams in front of them have games against each other are going to get 1 or 2 points, which would eliminate the Sabres. Washington's in a playoff spot right now, but that could change at the end of the night. They lost 6-3 to Buffalo. I believe it was last week in Buffalo, and they fell apart in the third period. They allowed 3 goals in a span of 2.5 minutes. Fell apart, lost that game, and that was an important one for them. Another important one for them tonight because Detroit and Pittsburgh are playing each other, and both teams are 1 point behind Washington for that final playoff spot. So it's a big game for Washington. The problem is that the Sabres just play the same type of game all the time. They don't take a game off. It's their second to last game at home. They're doing fan appreciation night. I don't even know what that really means when you don't make the playoffs. There's not much your fans really appreciate, but they're going to give away jerseys and all this other stuff. And they would love nothing better than play the spoiler role here against Washington. We had Brian Leonard on the show on Puck Time earlier today, and he liked Washington as a show best bet at plus 115. And I can see where he's coming from. They haven't been playing well. They did beat Detroit. They got lucky to beat Detroit. Detroit made 2 mistakes, both led to goals, and 2-1 final score for Washington. The Sabres can score. So if Washington, if they make even 1 or 2 mistakes, the Sabres will make them pay for it in what is a big game for them. I wouldn't lay $1.35 with Buffalo. I just think a team that's eliminated against a team that is hungry and needs points. I just don't want to take it. I would lean to the under in this game. I think Washington's key to trying to win this game and trying to pick up points is to play a defensive game like they did against Detroit that finished 2-1. Get it to overtime, pick up at least a point, and then take your chances from there to get that second point.
Lean towards the under, and a little tidbit today from Puck Time, plus 115 for Brian Leonard. I might have to join him on that one. That was kind of the coin flip game I was referring to. Carmine, what's another game on tonight's slate while we're waiting for the questions to fire up for us that you really like?
Yeah, this one's the late one of the night. If you guys like it, and I've got some cool props. You guys always ask me for props when I'm on here in the comment section, so I'm going to have some for you. Some of them are a little juicy as well too, but Calgary and the LA Kings. The LA Kings are still jockeying for position as well too. They're in the playoffs right now. Calgary isn't. Calgary finally got a win on the road last time out against San Jose of all teams, who are one of the worst teams in the league this season. But prior to that, they had lost 6 straight games, all in regulation. Now, I'm not telling you to lay $1.95 with Los Angeles because I never lay that type of vig on any team in the NHL. But the regulation line is about 125, 130, and that's a play I gave out on Puck Time, and it is a client play as well too. A smaller client play for me, and I'm taking the Kings in regulation. They have rolled off 6 straight wins at home, averaging 5 goals per game. They're playing extremely well right now. They're gearing up for the playoffs and getting hot at the right time.
Ooh, late night special. That's what our good friend Drew Martin Betts likes to call that one. Carmine said the Kings are the side he likes there. All right, guys, no questions. We have no questions from the comment section. It's a sleepy Thursday. You know why? Because all of you guys are watching the Masters like I'd like to be doing. Just saying it is what it is. Carmine, I'm going to cut the show short if we don't have any other questions. If there's anything you'd like to leave the audience with, a prop bet, a best bet, where they can find you, what you've got over up at Wagertalk.
Yeah. Yeah. I have 3 plays up, but one of them is a 5% play tonight. You can use the code CARM10 to get $10 off that play. It's one of the earlier games, so if you want to grab it, it's there. Or you can get 30-day all access for 188, and that's going to get you the next 30 days of everything NHL, baseball, and soccer. Now, here's a couple tidbits and some quick ones I'll run through on props. New York Rangers, Mika Zibanejad. His shot total is set at 2.5 minus 130. He's gone over in 5 straight, and 9 of his last 10 times he's gone over that number of 2.5 shots on goal. The Leafs, they're making a push for Austin Matthews to get to 70 goals in their next 2 games, which are both at home before they head down to Florida to play Florida and Tampa. I think they want to get him that number before they head down to Florida. Anytime goal for Austin Matthews is minus 130. You have to lay some big, but here's where it gets better. Austin Matthews, 2 or more goals tonight, plus 425, and Austin Matthews, 3 or more goals, plus 1400 at Bet Rivers. DraftKings has it at about 10-1, and there are some books that have it at 20-1. So shop around, find the best price, Austin Matthews, because he is pretty much. They're playing New Jersey again, who they just beat the other day 5-2. And they're going to feed him the puck. He's going to be shooting on net. They want to get him to that elusive 70 club on goals. He's on 66 right now. Final one, Dylan Larkin of Detroit. Shots on goal, 3.5 even money. He's 5-2 his last 7 games, and he's averaged 4.22 shots per game since coming off the injury list. That's 9 games ago. So I think he's a good bet in a big game for Detroit tonight in Pittsburgh. It's a huge game. Usually your stars show up, so we'll see if Dylan can get at least 4 shots on goal.
He is Carmine Bianco. You can catch him over on Puck Time with Andrew McGinnis on the Wagertalk YouTube channel, at Carmine Bianco WT on social media. And again, NHL right now, you can get all of Carmine's NHL through the rest of the season. $188, WT.buzz/CB. Hope you guys enjoy all of the Masters that has to be watched this weekend. I'm so excited to do a whole lot of nothing. Finally not traveling. I'm going to enjoy myself. We'll be back next week with some more game time with KIV.